you can't see if somebody comes in. V'avdim be'eretz Ashur v'hankim be'eretz Mitzrayim. V'avdim be'eretz Ashur הנידחים בארץ מצרים והשתחוו להשם בהר הקודש והשתחוו להשם בהר הקודש השתחוו להשם בהר הקודש והשתחוו להשם בהר הקודש ירושלים Yerushalayim, 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 Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim. Remember correctly, your name is Sarah? Huh? Or okay, this is Chaya and Zira. Okay, so if I remember correctly, we did page 57 and 58. Actually, 56, 57, I'm pretty sure it's right. Here he was talking about how do you know when your chutzpah is holy chutzpah and when it's not holy chutzpah. So one way to know that is what's the result of it. If your chutzpah is causing destruction or anger or hatred, or then it's a perfect sign that it's not holy chutzpah. But if it's really holy chutzpah, then it's going to bring peace, right? And like it says in it says concerning Beit Shammai, Beit Hillel, they would argue all the time, but the Mishnah says it was a machlekes l'shem shamayim, was an argument for the sake of heaven, and that's why the Gemara says that both of them were talking the words of the living God, right? So, we're actually going to be on page 58. So sometimes it's very difficult to have the sensitivity to separate between something which is kadosh and something which is not kadosh. Now, right, you should know that we really cannot define what's kadosh. Can you please get the door? Somebody's coming in. we're not able to define kedusha because only Hashem is really kodesh, right? So concerning the Rebbeinu Shalom, it's not shaykh to define Bechlal, concerning the Rebbeinu Shalom, it's not shaykh to define, right? So the Indian of kedusha, and it's not something that's for you. It's not something that I have complete clarity on, but you know the Gemara says that there's a lot of different words that could be used for kedusha, for getting married. In the Torah itself, it says ki yikach ish, a man takes a woman, right? At some point, the rabbis decided that to substitute the word mikudeshes, right? Instead of saying, you know, here I am taking you as my wife, you know, so now we use the word mikudeshes. Not that the other words are invalid. The other words that we had in the past are just as valid as they were back then. But there was a conscious decision. I'm trying to find out exactly when that came about, but there was a conscious decision, or a simcha rather. There was a conscious decision as to, you move a little bit more this way, okay? There was a conscious decision to use the word mikudeshet. Now, in yesterday's parsha, Va'era, we have where does it say the word velakachti? Velakachti, remember anybody?
Yes.
No, tell me.
Velakachti,
Velakachti etchem li la'am, right? I will take you to me to be my people.
Right.
Right, which is basically the same formula. We're on page 58. It's the same, unless Michael tells me, Shai, move a bit more to your left, a bit more, so that. Okay.
I'm not that fat. I don't need so much.
Thank God.
So, which is basically the same construction of as the Halei Mikudesh Li, right? So, but it doesn't say just V'lakachti etchem li la'am, I will take you to be my people. It says V'lakachti etchem li la'am, I will take you to be my people. V'yiti lachem le'elokim, and I will be unto you God. V'yidatem, and you will know ki ani Hashem Elokeichem, that is I Hashem hametzi eschem mitachat tzivos Mitzrayim. That is I that is taking you out from the suffering of Mitzrayim. So. Let's say, for example, I take this pen and I acquire ownership of it, right? Now, I can take this pen, acquire ownership of it, put it away into a drawer, and not see it for another 50 years, and it's still mine, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then there's another level. In other words, I'm not even relating to it. I just, Then there's another level where I take this, I acquire it, okay? But I ship with it. I take care of it. I write with it. I do this. In other words, there's something in between us. That's another level. And then there's, but still at that level, does the pen know that it belongs to Sholem Brot? Does the pen that I care about it or anything like that? No. So there's another level, which is a higher level, which is that there's an awareness of the relationship, right? So I will take you to be my people. I'm going to be your God. I'm going to be relating with you. And not only that I'm going to be relating with you, but you will know, you will be aware relating with you. Okay? And that's what I would call a complete retrieval. A complete acquisition. In other words, it's not just that I'm taking it for myself, but I'm relating with it, and you're conscious of it. Now, I suspect that by the way, once Reb Shlomo also said that the word lekich is from the word kain. Kain. What is kain tzipo? A bird's nest, right? I'm taking this and I'm acquiring it into my, like I'm making a nest for it and giving it a space, a home. Now, so I imagine, and I'm going to do some more research later, that at one point, like, people were far more conscious of of language and the meaning of words, and that can be demonstrated pretty easily. But as you know, you can open up any good dictionary and you'll see it. The same word in different periods of time have different connotations, right?
Even at the same time.
And but you can trace, like, like how it changed over time and so on. So I suspect strongly that there was a time when people were using the words lekicha, they understood the full meaning of the word lekicha, but as time went on, people started relating to the word more like in a business-like concept, right? And the Chachamim were not pleased with that, and they wanted to make sure that when there's a wedding taking place, that the chosn and the kala are aware of what's actually going on. That it's not just I'm going to the market and buying a wife, which there are still societies in which that. Oh, by the way, I got a joke for you.
I'm going to stop you. I'm very much involved in what you're saying.
Okay. I won't say it right now. I won't say it right now. Okay. But after I finish this. Okay. So the rabbis were concerned that people understand what the kiche really is, understand that it's not stam, I'm taking something, I'm going to put it in my drawer and forget about it, and it's not stam that I take it and be involved with it without the other knowing what it's about, but rather it's a complete acquisition that there's going to be a conscious relationship between the husband and wife, and that's basically the Indian Harei Kadeshusly. That is not just that you're becoming my wife, and in that you're coming into an exclusive relationship, but that I will be present, I will be present for you, right? And not only will I be present for you, but it will be a conscious relationship between the two of us.
So we are aware of not only not only is God taking us, but we are aware that we are being taken.
And He's interacting with us, and we're aware.
Very good. I didn't think of that. Very good.
I also didn't think of it until last week.
Vidatam is a connotation of love type of love.
Yeah. Hodam Yoda is Chava.
So it's more than just awareness. It's a love awareness.
It's a deep awareness that brings about changes in the relationship grows.
It's a union type of love.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying.
For the purpose of creating.
That's exactly what we're saying. Yeah. Hodam Yoda is Chava, Hodam Yu Chava, and she conceived and bore a child. Understand? So to being in a relationship of das with Hashem means that you bear fruit from that relationship.
See, it changes one's own perception of God. Not only did God create us, but we are the creation of God.
And not only that, and that's why in the series of Dibros, Hashem says, not just that I created you, but I took you out of freedom.
You know, you're making it
here comes the joke, whether he likes it or not.
I like it.
Somebody sent this to Judy, Rav Arush. You heard of Rav Arush? The big breast of Rosh Hashiva from Chut Shel Chesed. So the lion is getting married. And so one of the guests, a mouse, comes and says, Mazel Tov Achi. Mazel Tov Achi, my brother. The lion says, listen, I invited you to my wedding, but I'm a lion, you're just a mouse. What are you calling me? Why are you calling me Achi? So he says, I used to be alone also before I got married.
Oh God.
That's a put down on women.
Put down.
There are some women who there's some alliance to become mice.
True, Akasha for joke.
Okay.
Terrible.
I hope I don't remember this.
I like the other joke when you know I'm on the wrong line. That was
Yeah,
a better
yeah.
one. Sorry.
Same
You know that one.
genre.
You were
Remember
right.
that
You were
one?
right, and I was wrong.
Same-
Like,
same
Why are you
genre,
standing
same
on this
genre.
line to
Okay.
get upstairs? Why you
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Because my wife
My wife told me to. That was a good one.
It's the same thing.
No.
Okay,
this is
let's
different.
Okay, that one was a schmatzer to begin with. Okay, fine. Good.
That's what I
Okay.
like.
Don't worry.
I think
Don't
it's quite,
worry.
actually, I think it's quite the other way.
Don't worry.
But,
Okay.
Go either way.
We're not writing
what do
thesis,
you call
okay.
it here?
So he says, so we're on page 58, okay? So how do you know when something is kadosh or when something is not kadosh, right? How do you know when your chutzpah is holy or when your chutzpah is not?
By the result. Yes.
So you see, well, that's when you know, right,
Yeah.
by the results. But sometimes it's difficult. So he says, Atem yodim, page 58. Atem yodim, anachnu nogim kan b'sheila achi amuka ba'olam. We're touching on the deepest question in the world. Eich eda. How can I know? Eich eda matar le'ehov v'matar lisno. How do I know when to hate and when to love and when to hate? Eich eda matar liyot ge'eh ve'az. How do I know when to be proud and bold? Matar liyot sanua b'shana, when modest and bashful. מתי אני אמור לדבר, מתי אני אמור לשתוק? When should I speak and when should I keep my mouth shut? No jokes. כשאני רוצה להיות,
Not a word.
כשאני רוצה להיות אמיתי, when I want to be real, page 58, second paragraph. כשאני רוצה להיות אמיתי, when I want to be real, זוהי השאלה הכי עמוקה בחיים. It's the deepest question in the world. זה כל כך קשה, difficult. הלא אין לי הוראות שימוש ביד. I don't have a manual in my hand telling me how to be real, right? התשובה יכולה לבוא רק מהנשמה שלי. Because the answer cannot come from something outside, it can only come from within my neshama. וכאן אומר רבי נחמן, so here it says Reb Nachman, right? Okay, so you got, in other words, being in touch with your neshama, this whole shear that's been going on for the last couple of weeks is all about freedom, and a big aspect of freedom is, are you in touch with your neshama? Are you in touch with your neshama? Do you give it the time of the day? Do you give it any attention, and so on? Do you ever listen to it? So וכאן אומר רבי נחמן, so Rabbi Nachman says, צריך להגיע לשורש האהבה בנשמה שלי. I need to get to the root of love in my soul. And here's a mind bender. למקום ששם אין סתירה בין אהבה לשנאה. Need to get to the place where there's no contradiction between love and hate.
What does that mean? Is that the same?
Why don't you ask somebody who knows? Don't ask me, not yet. I'm not joking. Give me a chance, okay?
Well,
But-
I want to know everything right this minute.
Okay, so you just read it, now you know it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, in other words, what he's saying is that at the root, okay, there's no contradiction between the two. Okay? B'shorish haneshama, at the root of the soul, ha'ahava el hatov, the love of good, hi atzma hasina el hara. At the root of the soul, the love for good, also the hatred for that which is evil. In other words, let's say a person says, I love that which is good, but they don't hate evil. So then they're not really at the root. Okay? To give a very, very mundane example, okay? If you, let's say the whole decides to splurge and he goes out and buys a suit for $3,000, right? And gets a nechol,
Oh,
right?
Not that I wear suits at all, but all right.
That's why I said it's a very mundane example. and gets a little stain on it, right? Obviously, a little stain on a $3,000 suit is going to bother you a lot more than getting a stain on an old T-shirt, right? But not because this costs more than that, okay? But because like I said, the example is very street level example, but because you obviously care a lot about the suit that you were willing to spend $3,000 on it, right? So it means a lot to you, and therefore so at the same time, your tolerance for anything that's going to be wrong with it is going to be very, very much. Your intolerance will be much greater. Your tolerance will be much diminished, right? So if you really love good, then that means that you hate evil. Okay. Let's give a bit another example, okay? If you really love good and you know that a couple of doors away, your neighbor is chas v'sholem, really mistreating his family, right? You're not going to just say, oh, that's simply the way he is. If you really love good, you're going to do something about it. Your righteous indignation is going to be called up. And you're going to say, I'm not going to tolerate this. You're going to go and mix in. Right? What are the first three stories about Moshe Rabbeinu in the Torah? He sees something wrong and he does something. The Egyptian's hitting a Jew, he goes and does away with him. He sees two Jews fighting. He says to the Russia, why are you hitting him? He sees the daughters of Israel being chased away from the well. He goes and he does something, right? That is, if you really care about the good, you don't tolerate evil, right?
Loving is loving good. Since like love usually calls on us to be active, does hate call us to be active as well?
Yeah. In other words, you do something about it. It's like in a good, so I hate evil, but I know that it's going on and I'm not doing anything about it. So how much do I hate it? So then that way it's just theoretical, right? So, and hatred of evil is the flip side of loving good. In the soul, there's one root for both bushe, for bashfulness, and for brazenness. This is one root for speech and for silence. It's just that when it's coming down into this world, it gets complicated. And then there, in this world, from our perspective, there are contradictions.
Because we don't know which is which, you mean?
Because it just gets more complicated, because you understand, but so in other words, because if you're not connected at the root, it's complicated. If you're connected at the root, it's not complicated.
What do you mean connected at the root?
Really in touch with your neshama. And see, when it comes down to the level of ego, you might be telling me something that's 100% correct. You might be saying, Shalom, you're a fake, you're a shaikus, you're a this, you're a that, and so on, right? But it might not have anything to do with you being in touch with your neshama. It could be that you're talking completely from your ego. You're just out to put me down.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So it could be an evil thing that you're telling me. On the other hand, if you really connected with your neshama, so that means that you love me so much, you cannot tolerate to see me messing up my life. and you're going to tell me those same words.
I see. So you can say the same thing.
It can be the same thing. It can,
Depend on
where it's coming from.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So הגוף שלי הוא גוף אחד. My body is one body. All over the place, but not basically. Okay. הגוף שלי הוא גוף אחד, אבל הוא לא לגמרי אחד. But my body is not really a complete unity in the sense that יש בו חלקים שונים זה מזה. There are different parts to my being. הראש, היד, הרגל, my head, my hand, my foot. אני מרגיש עם הלב, I feel with my heart, חושב עם המוח, I think with my head. הולך על רגליים, and I walk on my feet. And there was this politician in Quebec who wanted to separate Quebec from Canada. So he was giving a talk in a shul, and when everybody was leaving, there was this woman who fell, and he helped her get up. She says, "So will you vote for me now?" She says, "I fell on my behind, not on my head."
Good for the woman.
That's funny.
Okay, so
That was terrible because I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that.
good.
It's okay.
Good. That's
No,
good.
but I want to remember the shear. I don't
Good.
remember-
So let's go back to this.
Association.
Yeah, he knows. He's just kidding you. So he says, wait, so למרות שהגוף מאוחד בו, יש בו איברים שונים, despite the fact that the body is one body and it has different parts, different limbs, right? But those are not all necessarily integrated. If you're mamish living a completely in tune life, just to use those words, if I may, right? Then all parts of your being are operating in unison. Okay? But if you're not on that level, so then it could be that your feet want to do one thing and your head tells you to do something else. Somebody once asked Reb Shlomo, he was going out on the shidduch date. He says, how am I supposed to know, like, if this is the person that I really want to get married to? So he said, don't ask your head, ask your feet. When the next time that you go see her, are your feet running or are you dragging them? So למרות אחדותו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, now the unity of God איננה מתגלה לגמרי בגוף שלי, is not completely revealed in my body. הנשמה לעומת זאת היא אחת, but the neshama is one. הרבה יותר מהגוף, much more than the body. הגוף שלי רואה, שומע, עושה. My body sees, hears, does, אבל אלה הן פעולות נפרדות. These are separate activities. לכן יכול להיות אדם ששומע אבל לא רואה. So you can have a person who hears but doesn't see, God forbid. הנשמה גם כן רואה ושומעת. The soul also sees and hears, אבל אצלה הכל אחד. By the soul, it's mamish all one. עבור הנשמה, for the soul, לשמוע, לראות, לעשות, לחשוב ולהרגיש. For the soul, to hear, to see, to do, to think, to feel, זה הכל דבר אחד. זה הכל חיי הנשמה. It's all one thing. That's the life of the soul. לכן, therefore, ככל שאני עדיין רחוק מהדרגה של אחדות כפי שהיא מאירה בנשמה שלי, so long as I am distant from this level of unity as it illuminates in my soul. So לאהוב זו מחלקה אחת. To love is one department. לשנוא זוהי מחלקה אחרת. And to hate is another department. By the way, dedicating to the Brucha at Baslata. Okay. So each of these is a different compartment, a different department. ולפעמים קשה לי לדעת באיזה מהן להשתמש, and therefore sometimes I have a hard time figuring out what am I supposed to be using now. אבל אם אני ברמה של הנשמה שלי, ולפעמים the level of my soul, In other words, I'm connected with my neshama, בדרגה של אחדות שלמה, on a level of complete unity, אז אני יודע בדיוק מתי לאהוב ומתי לשנוא. So then I know when to love and when to hate. מתי להיות ענב, when to be humble, מתי להשתמש בזהות הקדושה שלי, and when to use my holy chutzpah. Okay. So, until you're on that level, then follow the Shulchan Aruch. They say that the Tzemach Tzedek, when who was it? Tzemach Tzedek, maybe the Mefli Rebbe, but one of those two, I believe, one of the early Lubavitcher Rebbe's, when something would be very upsetting to him, so he would take out the Shulchan Aruch, he would take out the everyday, check in Shulchan Aruch to see if in this circumstance he's allowed to be angry. And by the time he would be mevarer the halacha, he wasn't angry anymore. Okay. In other words, if you're not sure, there are halachas about these things, and like there are guidelines, etc. אבל השורה התחתונה היא, but the bottom line is page 59, כמו שאומר רבי נחמן, Reb Nachman says, אל תהיה שלמזל. You know the word shlemazl or simcha?
I'm guessing it has to do with mazel.
It's shlemazl. Translate shlemazl.
Person that doesn't, they don't have so much mazel. They're like a little nerd, whatever.
Things don't work out so well.
Shlemazl is someone who spills soup on himself.
Ah, gotcha.
A shlemiel is one who does it constantly.
Okay.
The Shamil is one that spills soup on the Shamaz.
Whatever the case, I think you're getting the point, right?
Right.
Okay. Basically means al tiya batlan. Don't be a fool. In other words, don't be batlan is somebody batel, like totally unworldly. וזאת אתה יכול לדעת בלבך, and you can know in your heart, האם אני בטלן או לא, am I just being, am I just being stupid or not? בפנים אתה יודע היטב, inside yourself you know very well if you're just being stupid or not. Okay? הזהות הקדושה, holy chuspe זו לצאת מבטלנות, משלומיות. Holy chuspe is stop being a batlin, stop being unaware, stop being a shlemazl. So not tovim, and to be filled with good desires, and mitoch kach la'aseh dvarim gedolim mikdoshim, and as a result to do holy and great things. כשאתה רוצה לעשות תשובה, I didn't realize it yesterday, but yesterday was the yahrzeit of the Rebbe Reb Zusha. You've all heard about the Rebbe Reb Zusha, the brother of the Rebbe Reb Elimelech. So I was just listening before to a little story.
Yesterday was his...
It was his yahrzeit, yeah. Rosh Chodesh. So, the Reb Zusha was traveling somewhere in one of those public coaches, wagons, and this well-to-do individual was also a passenger, and he sees the Rebbe Zusha, looks at him, he thinks that this is just some schlepper, whatever, and he's basically the entire trip is making fun of him, but it doesn't bother the Rebbe Zusha at all, and like somebody once this chassid came into a besmedrish, and he sees this misnagid sitting and learning, and he's using the sefer either of the Chayz of Lublin or the sefer of the Rebbe Elimelech as a footstool. He's got his foot on the sefer, So he goes over, he says, excuse me, and he takes the sefer away. He says, do you know anything about the person, about the author of the sefer, the one who wrote it? So he said, yes. He says, tell me about it. He says, I'll tell you like this. If he was lying on the ground and you would use him as a footstool, he wouldn't complain.
Who said that?
This chassid said to that misnagid, yeah. Anyway, so they arrive. The Rebbe of Zusha and this man, they arrive at their destination, and thousands of people are out there waiting to greet Reb Zusha, the Rebbe of Zusha. And this man is like, he's saying to the people, "What's all this? Who's this person? Who's like that you're giving so much respect?" They said, "This is the Rebbe of Zusha, the holy Rebbe of Zusha." So he's like, he realizes the whole trip he was mamish making fun of him and everything. So he goes over to Reb Zusha and says, please forgive me for talking this way. He says, you don't need to ask me for forgiveness, but you have to ask every poor person in the world to be forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, that's also an aspect of being a shlomazel. You don't know when to love, you don't know when to hate, you don't know what you're doing. You're a shlomazel. That's what a shlomazel does. Like, you say, can you please take this to the kitchen? And he goes and takes it to the neighbor's kitchen. Okay? In other words, you say, using the wrong things at the wrong time and putting things in the wrong place, etc. So to be kadosh, sometimes people think, to be kadosh is like, you're so holy, you're totally unaware of this world. On the contrary, if you're really kadosh, you're mamish aware of everything. Sometimes when Julie's out of the house, it doesn't take me more than an hour for things to be out of place. Sometimes even only a half an hour, But what's this thing about things being in place and so on with her? For her, that's part of her avodas Hashem. And then she's connected in such a way that she knows this has its place, this has its place. It's not stam, like she read a book. It's part of the reality.
It's a talent.
It's a talent, yeah, but it's a consciousness, okay?
Is your avodas Hashem the same as yours?
It's much higher.
Maybe
Or different.
Maybe she puts things according to her avodas Hashem,
Right.
and you put things according to your avodas Hashem.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. It's good.
Like, I don't do that, but I spend my energy in a different way.
Don't worry, I wasn't putting you down. I wasn't
like
putting
it.
anybody down. I wasn't putting
No, I
anybody
do
down.
It's just the energy.
Much different.
I wasn't putting anybody
Me too.
down.
No,
Let's
but I'm
leave
saying,
it there.
I hear what you're saying, but everybody has a different.
Yeah, I'm just there are
It's
people
actually
that
the
have certain.
smartest thing, because then you
There
can
are
know where to
certain.
find
Look, let me put it this way. Rafim said like this: "What a great musician hears better, a great artist sees better."
That's true.
Okay. In other words, there are different levels of consciousness. I'm not comparing. I'm not saying one person's worth
He's
more than the other.
complimenting his
I'm not saying that a great musician is a better person than somebody who isn't a great musician. He's a better musician. That's all. Okay. So he says that Azut Kedusha is to stop being a batlin and stop being a shlemiel and be filled with good desires. And as a result, go ahead and start doing great holy things. There's even a halacha that if you're a Talmid Chochem, you're not allowed to walk out into the street looking like a shlocker. If your collar is turned inside out, or you're wearing one black sock, one white sock, and so on, you're not allowed to.
Why?
Because it's
Well,
not. That's
like
not.
a
It would be a chilul Hashem. You got to look. But don't In other words, but going deeper is like saying, don't think that being holy means that you're a shlomazel.
I agree.
There's a story with the Rebbe of Levi Yitzchak. With the Levi Yitzchak Verditchever. So that his father-in-law was a misnagid. When his father-in-law found out that his daughter married a chassid, he said he should go and ask for a divorce. She was obviously on a higher level than her father. Anyway, so at one point his father-in-law says to him, okay, listen, it's time for you to start doing business.
Who says to who?
His father-in-law says to the father-in-law says to Reb Yitzchak, and he says, here, you don't know how to do business, so I'm sending you to Leipzig, to the big market. I'm sending Chaim Yankel with you, And here's an envelope with a lot of money. And Chaim Yankel is going to find find a good deal. He'll purchase, and he'll buy stuff, and then he'll bring it back and he'll sell it. Okay. No, they got to Leipzig. Reb Levi Yitzchak says to Chaim Yankel, he says, "Listen, I'm just going to stay in the hotel. I have to daven, I have to learn and so on. And when you come, you'll come and tell me, and we'll go do the deal." So Chaim Yankel says, "Fine." Anyway, one morning, Reb Levi Yitzchak is coming out of the shul, and he's going back to the hotel, but he was so lost in his thoughts that he didn't realize it. And that next to the hotel, there was the bordello. And he walks into the bordello. Anyway, the ladies are like, they see this guy and don't think that they don't have sensitivity. They see, wow, this is some kind of special person. So they all start coming towards him. And he like right away realizes that he walked into the wrong place. So he takes out the envelope with all the thousands of rubles. He says, "Here, just take this and let me go." And half an hour later, Chaim Yankel comes and says, "Okay, Levi Yitzchak, we got a good deal. Where's the money?" So he says, "There ain't no more money." Can you imagine what it was like for him to explain that to his father-in-law? But in any case, so Reb Shlomo said that the end of that story was that all those ladies became Baalei Tshuva. You know, the Jews, Jewish, not Jewish, that's not just from that. But in any case, so Reb Levi Yitzchak is walking around that way and he's totally in Shemaim all the time. Okay, fine. So that there's always an exception that proves the rule. But otherwise, to be Kadosh means to be a mensch, to be in the street. To say hello to people, to recognize people, and so on.
I don't find that.
So, by the way, switching. So let me finish this, and I want to just tell you about one other thing. When you want to do tshuva, and when you go deep inside to yourself, to the root of your sin, you come to the realization, you come to the conclusion. Why did I sin? Because I wasn't strong enough. I was lacking holy chutzpah, holy brazenness. Negative, bless you. I didn't have enough chutzpah against myself, against my egotistical self. To do tshuva, to return to God, that means that I'm going to fix my holy chutzpah once again and make it like fresh and new. Okay, Rabbi Say, you should definitely, all of us, including me, these last 2 pages that we just read are just awesome.
Yes.
You said last year, you begin the next Gilgul now.
The Rebbe said that.
But by being a Mentakein Yorkers.
Somebody asked the Rebbe about the Gilgulim, about the reincarnations, and the Rebbe said all the teachings about reincarnations are true, but it's also true you don't have to wait to start your next Gilgul. You can start your next Gilgul now.
It's true.
It's very hard though, this.
What I wanted to tell you is that I don't know if you've taken the time or if you've had a chance to see, but last week, they had this International Holocaust Day at the United Nations, and there was this Yid, a 91-year-old Holocaust survivor, who was there, and he brought along his grandson in a uniform, a white uniform, and he presented him to the United Nations, and he gave this amazing talk. You definitely go on Arutz Sheva. You'll see Arutz Sheva. You'll and click on it and listen to his talk. It's a very intelligent and very important talk.
Okay.
Is it
In
covered by
Hebrew?
the-
His name is Klieger. You'll see.
Is it covered by the
It was
words?
probably covered by, I'm sure it was at the United Nations. I hope it was covered by the world.
Uh-huh.
So he tells the story that what nowadays we have what's known as March of the Living. March of the Living is a response to March of the Dead.
Mhm.
The Nazis in Hiroshima, one of the ways that they killed who knows how many thousands of Jews is that they loaded thousands of Jews onto these cattle cars, and they would take them off and make them march and drive them, and they would go for 10 days, 14 days without food, and along the way, they were dropping like flies. So this man Krieger was on one of these marches,
Wow.
and he's describing what it was like in that cattle car. And he says when they were packed in and room to sit because you were like standing sardines.
Yeah.
And then people were dying and so on, and they ended up they would be sitting on corpses.
Mm.
And one day, around 10 days into this journey, there were still some that were left, and there was a 15-year-old boy from Hungary, and he comes over to them and he says, let's make a million and say Kaddish. And he says, he and whoever else was surviving, they said, forget it, we're not saying Kaddish. So he said, if you'll say Kaddish with me, I have bread to give you. He said, you have bread, show us. So he took out what he had smuggled with him. So he said, okay, for bread, we'll say Kaddish. So they said Kaddish, and then he gave them the bread to share. And then he says, he's talking to this boy, and he says, so when did you lose your father? So he says, very recently. So he says, do you know where he is? He says, yeah, you're sitting on him right now.
You what? Sitting?
You're sitting on him.
Yeah.
So he says he had 3 dreams. One of them was looking, and when he had these 3 dreams back then, he didn't think that any of them were going to materialize. Is he ever going to get out of this, etc.? I want you to listen to the whole talk. So then he says, on the 60th anniversary of the Yom HaShoah, which by us is in Nissen, he wrote an article. He's been a journalist all his life. He still writes for Yediot Achronot. So he wrote an article, and in the article he tells the story that I just told you. He says a few days later he gets a phone call from a Yid in Haifa, and he says, I am that boy. And he says, get lost, I don't believe you. There's no way that you survived that. So he says, I'll prove it to you that it's me. He says, I've all my life I've been working for this Holocaust Memorial Organization, and we have a publication. And last week I wrote the same story.
Wow. So this was this 90-year-old who got out?
The 91-year-old.
That was the same.
He's and there are pictures of them. You'll see. Go
I have
and
to
watch
see it. I
it.
have to do it. Yeah.
Go and watch it.
Wow.
The whole talk.
So the point is,
he was there at the UN saying, we're here in Eretz Yisrael, we're staying here, and he says there aren't very many survivors left to tell the story. Historians cannot tell the story like those who were actually there. And he was saying to the UN, you have to make a resolution that you're going to support and make sure that every school in the world, as part of their history lessons, is going to have a unit on the Holocaust.
Mhm.
Okay, so we should hear the Surah's Tavis, and we should be blessed that our own leaders shouldn't do stupid things.
our own.
Leaders should not do
I
stupid
have a
things.
good word. Last night I attended Rabbi Orlovsky's shir. One of these things he said that the God's imprint is on the face. Why do we have 2 eyes? The eyes and the nose is the shin, and the mouth is the patach. God's name begins with Shah. Shakai.
Okay.
So as I was coming home, I thought of is God's imprint on any other part of the body. And if you think about it, I'm not being coarse, but the here and the reproductive organ is
Yud Kei Vav Kei.
is when she yes.
It's Yud Kei
Wow,
Vav
that's
Kei.
really
Yud
interesting.
Yud Hey Vav Hey.
Wow, that's very interesting. Whoa,
So
And about Shabbos Eva, you're going to be a Kabbalist soon?
yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
No, which
That's really
means
cool.
which means